I think you should go first.
Okay, I'll go first.
Yep.
Ready?
Yep.
It is very hard to get into community law.
That's a very common perception, I think.
I basically have been in community law the entire time. Like I got in after I graduated, so I would say probably not so hard. Yeah. What about you?
I think it's true to say community legal centres don't have huge HR departments. They don't have huge, capacity for graduate programs and specific recruitment. So if you haven't made those connections, just keep at it.
If you've volunteered in community legal centres for quite some time and you've shown a commitment to that community legal centre in terms of understanding social justice and understanding, client care, then I think you're much more likely to be offered a grad position. And then after the grad positions as well, I have noticed that there are many opportunities for people to demonstrate that they are potentially eligible for a coveted position in a community legal centre.
Next.
All right, I guess it's me. You can't progress your career if you work in community law.
Highest lawmaker in the land, Attorney General Mark Dreyfus, started his career in a community legal centre.
There's certainly senior positions in community law and, senior policy positions as well as advocating for clients.
The range of work you do as well is quite different to what you would do in a private law firm because we don't have the resources. Usually when you start off as a junior, you have carriage of your whole matter. You see the client. You're not, you're doing every single part of that case. And similarly, all of the work around community legal education or the work around advocacy, those kinds of things I imagine you probably wouldn't be able to get in many other circumstances.
You don't get any training as a community lawyer.
I don't think that is close to being true at all. It's such a learning-focused environment.
The training that we get is really diverse and varied, and it also goes so much deeper than just legal training. It's how we can marry up the legal work that we do with our social work and case management and financial counselling to address really the underlying issues that have brought someone to the justice system.
Community legal centres are professional outfits, so they take their induction very seriously when it comes to employing new staff. From the induction process, there will be training. Plus also, the Federation of Community Legal Centres really supports training for community lawyers.
The Federation itself offers a year-long program of training for community lawyers, which covers everything from technical legal expertise areas all the way through to the types of skills you need to be effective working in communities, such as trauma-informed care, cultural safety, and working with difficult clients.
You'll never make any money as a community lawyer.
Come on, we're minted, aren't we? Look, I think it's true to say that you probably wouldn't go into community law if your main aim in your career is to make a truckload of money. We need to be honest about that, but at the same time, it's not as if you're working for peanuts.
Maybe you're making slightly less, but it's also a question of where do you want to be working and what you want to be doing with your life.
People go into community law or, go into law school in the first place, really being passionate about making a difference within their community. And you can do that. You can be paid. You can also have a work-life balance as well.
Having a work-life balance is absolutely encouraged within a community legal centre.
Yeah.
If you work in a CLC, you will always be a generalist.
I don't think there's anything wrong with being a generalist.
I think community legal centres, they're obviously there for the community, and you never know who's going to walk through the door and what kind of legal issue they're going to need assistance with. But at the same time, working as a community lawyer is a specialised career. It is a specialised area of law that moves far beyond being a generalist.
It's very easy to think when you're starting out, I want to be this type of lawyer or I want to be that type of lawyer. But you don't know actually what might suit you or what you feel really calls to you until you actually start practicing. So actually starting off in generalist law is a wonderful opportunity if you're lucky enough to have that.
Well, I can tell you there's 47 community legal centres across Victoria, and half of them are generalists and half of them are specialists, including 2 Aboriginal legal services.
So my background in community law is very much as a specialist. So I've always worked at specialist community legal centres, most often in criminal law and family violence and the intersection between the two. And so I think there's great opportunities to either choose to be a generalist or to be a specialist.
CLC work is what you do when you can't get a job as a real lawyer.
So I do have a practicing certificate.
That's good to know.
As is required by the Legal Services Board.
Yep.
It's news to me. I'm not a real lawyer.
CLC work is hard work. It is work that involves such commitment and dedication to understanding the real human sort of impact of the unfairness of so many different types of laws and systems upon an individual. And what could be more real than being able to be fully immersed in that type of work?
I think that there can be a misconception that community law is all about fencing disputes and neighbourhood arguments and people that have some trivial issues that they want to go and see a lawyer for and it's not worth paying for. That's not what community law is about at all.
As a community lawyer, we're working community legal education, we're going to court, we're briefing barristers, we're running student clinics. I'm not sure what's more real than that.
Sorry, I should have tossed it aside.
All community lawyers are vegan.
Well, nobody told me that.
Are you vegan?
I'm vegetarian.
I'm an omnivore. I think they call it flexitarian.
I've got to say, actually, probably about 20% of our CLC was vegan.
Okay.
Maybe more. I think actually all community lawyers are vegan. Yes, they are.
Thank you.